fall asleep. We're on episode 10.
This is it. This is season finale.
The day of Mikkel's disappearance.
So that's in 2019. Raining.
Raining.
So in other words, like every other day.
Another rainy day in Wyndham. Weatherman says, expect rain. Why don't you take your fucking raincoat or umbrella? The entire town of Wyndham says, no. I like to get soaked in the rain. Okay, but we see creepy shrink in his car in the rain.
Contemplating some atrocity.
Oh, okay. So somebody is standing outside.
It's her.
Is it who? Oh, it's the sex
worker.
She's got a fucking umbrella because, you know, she's a professional. Peter the shrink, he really wants to fuck this sex worker and he's driving away. Someone's going down in the bunker. It's Peter the creepy shrink. Oh, and in this show, I do believe that Peter the creepy shrink is trying to use a 12-step program to not fuck the sex worker, which is, I think it's a good thing. You can use a 12-step program for sex addiction, but you can't use it for sexuality or sexual preferences. Oh, a big bright light comes on as he's doing the serenity prayer. Oh.
Holy shit, the wall.
The wall is coming apart. I mean, there's like a tear in the wall and light is streaming through. That doesn't happen every day. Oh shit, something dropped out.
Ew!
Oh, it's a boy with burned out eyes. Oh, I just remembered.
What?
The Chiron at the beginning of this scene was the day of Mikkel's disappearance.
This is
day of
Mikkel's
disappearance. They found a body of a boy in the woods with his eyes burned out. And now we're seeing how that body got to 2019.
So we now know that weird electric chair time machine works, kind of. So this, I mean, it's like if you want to travel in time, die and have your eyes burned out and your eardrums burst.
Do we have a chair for you?
Do we have a chair for you in a weird child's room?
He's got his fucking, I don't know why, but he has a like name tag around his neck that says, I don't have my glasses on.
It says 1986, 1987.
Does it say Mads? Is his name on it? Mads. Okay, so now Creepy Shrink Peter's in the woods, talking into his cell phone, calling Tranta, who is Ulrich's dad, AKA blood-soaked sweater.
Sweater, I need twine.
Says, it's me, Peter. And of course, the cell phone would say, it's Peter. He said, there's something here you should see. If I was trying to get somebody to help me with a dead body, I wouldn't say on the phone, hey, there's a dead body, will you help me? I'd say, exciting news over at my house.
You got to come and see this, man.
You want a present? Oh, he's telling him it has to do with your son, Mads. I mean, he's telling him everything. I feel bad for the actor boy who has to play Mads.
Yeah.
I hope that's a dummy and not like a boy with his eyes all blacked out.
I had to do that once.
Did you have to play a dead body?
One day of one of those shows, I was a dead body.
Which show?
Gary Sinise.
Oh yeah, CSI.
CSI. You go in and you just lie there, poke you, and
oh shit,
you know that shit.
Tranta and Peter are looking at Mads.
Oh,
he's
sad.
really crying. I feel bad. I'm sorry.
Oh,
and they say someone's
coming.
It's fucking super old Claudia. I want to say that I love the fashion choice for super old Claudia. As not super old Claudia, when I'm like in my 80s, long gray wavy hair and a men's jacket with a belt. Fucking Diane Keaton could play this in the American version, right?
She could.
So she's saying Trotta. Trotta says, Claudia? Because
She
this
doesn't
is
seem surprised by any of this.
too. And she says there's a lot I have to explain.
Yeah,
Boy, let me tell you.
start with us.
And she says, but first we have to take Mads to the place where he is to be found. Okay, so clearly, super old Claudia, which we kind of knew this from when she went to talk to Bartos, knows everything.
Yeah, she does.
And part of her job right now in this first season is to make sure shit happens that we've seen already. There was a lot of shit to happen before the credits.
This is.
Yeah, they're cold open. That's what it's called. For people watching,
It's a cold open.
the part of a show that happens and then the credits happened is called a cold open. It's called Alpha and Omega.
Which I think it means first and last.
Okay, now we're at Marta biting her nails, talking to Bartos in a hoodie. That's a good jacket and hoodie.
It is.
She is only in these, she's saying, I'm sorry.
I'm here for you.
But he's also now got all the information from Noah. I've been talking to this creepy priest in his car.
Yeah.
So whether or not you're fucking me is like the last problem we have right now. Helga spent the night in a tree house.
Find some clothes. He's got a
jacket on and a hat, but he's still in his pajamas.
I think so. He's got a tarp.
Okay, now we're in a scene with Inez, Nurse Mole, who is also Jonas's grandma, and Michael Mikkel's adopted mother. And Jonas has said, did you know? I think that's what happened. She's getting the box.
Here's the box.
Here's the box from episode 1. Opening the box, here's the letter. He says, that's impossible. Jonas burned the letter. It's impossible. How do you have the letter? Nurse Mole is saying she's always known. Well, he did say I've come from the future. And then he's, when your father came to me, he was a disturbed little boy. I just thought he had an overactive imagination. He told me.
He was from the future. Yes.
I come from the future. Well, what would you
And
say?
it is.
I didn't believe him because who would? If you knew, why didn't you stop it? He's saying, I didn't know he would kill himself. You know, I didn't know, but you could have saved Mikkel. Now I have another grandma and she's the principal of my school. I don't understand that.
Wait a minute.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, so
Yes.
Katerina is his grandmother and he's saying her husband, who's fucking my mom, is looking for his son, who's my father.
Yes.
People, this is a great fucking show. A few days ago, I kissed my
They
aunt.
kissed. Well, what was she gonna do?
I don't know. Well, you always blame women. Is there a woman in this town that I can go yell at? What you gonna
How can
do?
we blame the woman?
Hit me? No. Let's go yell at women. Oh, we do a flashback to young Inez, aka Nurse Mole.
With Mikkel.
He's doing a trick. He's doing the trick with the cup. She says, do you want to be a musician? He says, yeah, but the magic I want to do is impossible because he wants to go back home. Oh, now we got it taking mugshot. Okay, young Tiedemann is taking middle-aged Ulrich's mugshot.
Ulrich knows who Tiedemann is.
Yeah, Ulrich knows who Tiedemann is, and Tiedemann is saying, just tell me your name, and Ulrich does a really good acting job, and he goes, Tiedemann.
Egon, yeah.
Egon, yes, of course. Are you a Satanist? Tiedemann's like, why'd you kill the children? Ulrich is like, I didn't kill the children. I'm trying to save them. Tiedemann. And then Tiedemann's like, what did you do to Helga? All right, so this whole scene is Ulrich trying to explain, hey, I know this sounds crazy, but I'm trying to save children by killing this one child. I can change everything that's going to happen, but you have to let me go. Let me go! Let me go! Oh, are you already drinking, or will you do that after your wife leaves you? Now, Jonas is at the school. He's talking to Bartos. He's saying, I waited for you on Thursday. This is like a fight. Okay, so Bartos is basically saying, I told everyone you were in France instead of the nut house, and what do? You go and try to fuck my girlfriend, because Marta told Bartos everything. Oh God, they're having a fight. I mean, I think those are the real actors.
Yeah.
Because they didn't cut away.
No.
And fucking Jonas pushed Bartos onto the cement. They are both wearing skinny jeans.
They're having like a real fight.
A real fight. Marta runs out because, people, the one person who needs to run out just runs out.
Just happens to be.
Yeah. Bartos is saying, get the hell out of here.
Don't ever come back here. This is where I go to school.
Marta looks very upset, but what girl is really upset when two boys get into a physical fight over her? Now we're old man Tannhaus. That's the clock maker. Dirty Jesus walks in. He says, you repaired it. That one's yours. This one's mine. There's
He's making another one.
There's
Even he said, come back Tuesday.
Come back Tuesday. And then he goes into a time machine and comes back. Immediately comes back Tuesday.
So there's two giant steampunk time machines.
And he gets he's got Ulrich's iPhone.
This is the important part.
It sends a kind of signal, an electromagnetic impulse. This part has never moved. It was included in the blueprint, but I never knew what it was for. So he's moving the iPhone back and forth, and he says it and then makes the time machine move.
And his machine from the 50s digs it.
And he goes, it's not just the past that influences the future. The future also influences the past.
Which is, I think, kind of the purpose of this show.
Yeah. If you hadn't shown me what the device looks like in the future, I wouldn't have been able to build it. That's the bootstrap
paradox.
Do you know why they call it a bootstrap paradox?
No.
It's a paradox. A bootstrap
paradox.
These openings didn't exist either. Okay, so
Dirty Jesus came prepared.
Yeah. Tannhaus makes a tube go up on the machine. Dirty Jesus reaches into his dirty pocket and pulls out a glass. What's that?
You'll see.
CS-137. Now that's a radioactive isotope of cesium. Everybody knows that. Now the Tannhaus, this device generates a Higgs field.
We all know what that
is. Increases the mass of the cesium. Good for it. All right, so he's like, Tannhaus is explaining a bunch of bullshit about
I mean, this guy has the job of laying out scientific pipe.
Which is even worse than normal pipe.
Than saying...
the party's in 24 hours and we don't, and the catering company just exploded. How are we gonna get food for the big party where your mother is coming and I'm going to meet her for the first time?
We can't have the other caterer because my uncle is kosher and it's not a kosher caterer.
And my uncle is halal. Same thing that must have happened during the nuclear power plant. And said, there was a nuclear power plant.
So we're learning a couple of things.
Yes. We know that cesium makes the time machine work. Why did you decide to help me after all? Dirty Jesus wants to know why Tannhaus is helping him. I mean...
You people walk in here with these amazing inventions and you're basically saying, put your name on this, That's
right.
Fuck with this for 10 minutes, I'll be back.
Here's a book you didn't write that you could write.
They just say you just get it, to copy it. And
somebody walked in here and gave me a script I had written with my name on it, I go, oh, that's good, I'm turning it in.
And it says Claudia Lano written in 2025.
Good enough. I don't care. that perhaps everything in my life boils down to this one moment.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The violin music agrees with you.
Yeah, violin music's doing a lot of work. He's part of a puzzle, he says. One that I can neither understand nor influence. Oh, Charlotte is in her car.
Alone.
Yes.
Dein Vater wurde doch entführt, als klein war. Weißt du, wann genau das war?
She's talking to Shrink Husband, saying your father was kidnapped when he was a kid, and that's
Which
Helga.
is true, Helga.
We know Helga was it.
Goom.
Yeah, got smashed in the face, and Peter. She says, "Do you remember when exactly?"
And Peter's like, why are you asking?
Can we talk?
Wann genau war das?
Jesus Christ! No. No,
like,
he can't answer a direct question. Fall of 53.
53.
53, that's a big number.
66.
Exactly 66 years ago, because every 33, 2 times 33, she's 2 times 33.
She's putting it together.
It's all connected. And he's like, listen, Charlotte, I have to talk to you.
She
Later, I gotta go.
hangs up on him.
Oh, this is middle-aged 80s Helga.
80s Helga, crazy jacket.
So Helga's outside of his cabin. Oh, someone's there. Who is that? I don't have my glasses on.
Old Helga. Old Helga.
Old Helga is sitting outside middle-aged Helga's cabin because we saw him asleep in the treehouse.
I'm here.
To
I'm
stop
in my
you.
PJs.
I have to tell him all this time that old Helga has been saying, I have to tell him. He was talking about himself. I have to tell myself. Does he know it's him? Well, old Helga's wearing a wool cap. So old Helga's got a wool cap which is covering the fucked up ear. Old Helga says, he's using you.
Talking to his younger self.
Telling him all of his promises are lies. I think you're mistaking me for someone else. Yep. He takes off his hat. Old Helga gets to it.
Noah.
Everything Noah says is a lie.
But what I'm wondering is,
yes,
when middle-aged Helga looks at old Helga, who's in his PJs,
yes,
I wonder if he's thinking, oh, so that's what they wear in the future.
Does he think everybody wears PJs in the future? He doesn't want to save the world from evil. He is evil. Today is the day. Now he's hugging himself. Oh, I want to hug my younger self. Don't make the same mistakes I made. I would say that to myself.
This is a great scene.
This is great. This is why people like time travel. Middle-aged Helga's running away. Old Helga's chasing him, saying, you have to stop. Middle-aged Helga drives away in his Volkswagen. Old Helga has great cheekbones.
And he really pulled it together.
And he says, I have to stop.
I have to stop.
You have to admire old Helga getting his shit together enough to come back to try to do this. I think that's admirable. Charlotte asked me about the cabin. Okay, now we got Peter, Crying Shrink is down in the bunker with not blood sweater,
nope.
Red soil sweater. Sorry, everybody.
We're sorry.
It looked like blood. A few more hours and it'll all be over. That's nice to know. Mads will live. Okay, so now we know why they're doing all this shit. Tranta thinks whatever this is in the bunker with Creepy Shrink, my son is going to come back to life. That's Mads.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
Okay, and
is
Peter.
That because of something Charlotte told him?
Well, I think it must have been Claudia, but I don't think Claudia. We saw that scene. But Peter is going, do you believe her? So it's got to be Claudia.
It's got to be Claudia.
Because she's the one who's going around telling people shit.
She's spilling the beans.
Everything she said would happen has happened in the last 8 days. Okay, so that must have been Claudia. Oh, and it's written in a book, just as it's written here. He's got a book. Tranta, after today, everything will be new. So these people, even though they're up to no good, they think they're doing something good.
Yes, which is a good motivation.
Yes. Now we're on middle-aged Helga. He don't look so happy. Oh, he's with Noah.
Ran right to Noah.
And he's saying, but if there is no God, then why do we believe in a lie? Oy.
See, they're just into it.
And Noah says, because we prefer any lie to the pain. I do. Years ago, I was still a little boy. That's normal. Everybody was a little boy years ago. A stranger came to us. He looked as if he'd been in the war. Didn't talk much. As Noah is saying this, there is a shot of Jonas. Jonas is going back in the time vagina cave. But one night he was suddenly very clear. He stood in the hallway, his eyes wide open, and said, nothing is in vain.
Noah's very persuasive.
It works on Helga. It fucking works, because Helga's like, who's next? Oh, he's got the book.
He's got that book.
So Noah has a copy of the same book that Tranta and Peter have.
I think it is the same book.
Yeah, in the bunker in 2019. Jonas Kahnwald. Oh, so Helga said, who's next? And Noah says, Jonas Kahnwald, and then cut to a shot of Jonas coming out of the vagina cave.
So Jonas has made a decision.
He's gone someplace.
When?
He's some when.
He's some when.
And now we're on, now we're on a scene where the lady from the foster agency in Germany is coming to pick up young Mikkel.
In 1986.
And the lady's saying, you can always come and visit him. Okay, Inez is taking the adoption lady into the hall. So Inez is saying, I want to adopt him. Now we're, who's that? That's young Charlotte. Jonas comes up to her and says, what day is it today?
So he's come back to 83.
86.
86.
What day is it today? The 12th. What year? 86. What are you doing here? Bringing someone back from the dead. Now we're on grown-up Charlotte, looking at microfilm fiche.
Microfiche.
So she's looking at old newspaper articles, and she sees Helga Doppler, 9 years old, went missing on November 10th. Kidnapping is being linked to an unknown person.
Whoa, mind blown.
And then she goes to a picture, the intake photo of middle-aged Ulrich in 1953 is in the fucking paper. Is this man a child murderer? Jonas in the yellow raincoat walking down.
Where is he, the hospital?
No, it looks like he's, oh, maybe he is in the hospital. And he sees Noah talking to
Does he know
Mikkel.
Noah?
Well, he says, who are you? So I guess not. Noah goes, was Mikkel's asleep? Oh,
Holy shit.
okay. Jonas comes in. Who are you? Noah goes, and then from behind the door comes Helga with chloroform, right?
Yeah.
Now, guess where Jonas is? Aggressive wallpaper room. Dirty Jesus says there's no need to be afraid. Dirty Jesus is looking in through the slot in the door. Jonas says, why did you lock me in here? It was Noah. What is this? This is a kind of prototype of a time machine. The passage in the cave lies directly under this bunker. Energy flows through this room, but it needs to be increased. The first time machine is a bunker with 4 walls. This is just like they have a shitty time machine they're trying to perfect.
Yes, but it is, there's the cave.
Yeah.
And this is in direct proximity
To the
it.
cave.
And it sort of leeches on its energy.
Yes.
And it doesn't work.
Who are you? The letter. You burned it.
Und trotzdem existiert
and yet it still exists.
Du wirst diesen Brief fast
You'll
33
carry that
Jahre
letter
lang
for almost 33 years before you pass it on
an dich selbst.
to yourself.
Du.
I am you. Dirty Jesus is Jonas 33 years in the future. My name is Jonas Conwald. Everything you're experiencing, I've already experienced. We think we're free, but we're not. We follow the same old path again and again. You can decide to let me go now,
Aber ich kann dich nicht
but I
herauslassen,
can't
weil
let
du
you
nicht zu
out
dem wirst,
because
was
then
ich
you
heute
won't
bin.
become what I
Verändere
am
ich jetzt meine
today.
Vergangenheit, verändere ich auch
If
meine
I change my
Gegenwart.
past, I will change who I
Dann kann
am
ich
right
dieses Loch
now.
nicht ein für alle Mal zerstören.
Then I won't be able to destroy the whole once
Warum
and
hast du
for all.
Martha geküsst?
Why did you kiss Martha?
Wir sind nicht frei in dem, was
We're
wir
not
tun.
free in what we
Aber
do
wir frei
because
sind in
we're
dem,
not
was wir
free in
wollen.
what we want.
Wir kommen nicht.
I want all this sick shit to stop.
Das willst du immer
You
noch.
still do.
33 Jahre später.
33
Ich will
years
das immer
later, I still want that.
noch. Aber Mikkel,
But Mikkel,
unser Vater ist
our father is just a small part of a sprawling
sickness.
sickness. I've seen things no one should see.
They both want the same thing, but they're going after it in two different ways. Young Jonas is going after it in
The
a
most obvious
simplistic
way.
way, the same way Ulrich
Yes,
did, and older
Jonas.
Jonas is going after it in a different way. He's saying, we got to end the whole deal.
Bye. To both, it's
middle-aged Helga. We ride for the future. Kaboom!
somebody drove a car right into middle-aged Helga. Okay, so Helga fucked up. Lots of bad things happen to Helga. He's getting out of this car. He limps over to see who hit him. It's old Helga. Is he dead? Can't tell. Now we cut to a newspaper article, November 13th.
That's a good way to get
Severe
out some
accident at intersection. I bet Charlotte's looking at that in the future, in
She's putting it
2019. Come to the cabin, we need to talk.
Ooh.
She got a text message from crying shrink Peter, her husband, saying, come to the cabin, we need to talk. Everything is about to begin, Noah says, to Bartos.
Bartos.
The older Jonas will destroy the whole, but he doesn't realize that he will be the one to trigger its existence. A paradox.
There you have it.
This is the whole thing. The older Jonas comes to destroy the whole,
But
in real
doing
life,
so-
he's going to create its existence. It's a paradox. Noah's saying he thinks he's the savior, but Claudia lied to him. Okay, so then we got a shot of lots of pictures on the wall connected by string. Noah is saying, we think we're in charge, but we're really pieces on a chessboard led by an unknown hand. And then you cut to a picture of very old Claudia. Their lives exist only to be sacrificed. Jonas, Mikkel, the children, they're nothing but unfortunate yet necessary chess moves in an eternal war between good and evil. And now he says there's two groups out there fighting to control time travel, light and shadow. We belong to the light. So Noah thinks that he's on the good team.
He does. He truly does think that.
Yes, and he's saying, we're on the good team, don't forget that, to Bartos. And now we see middle-aged Helga being carted off by paramedics, and old Helga is in a body bag. Okay, he's dead. So Noah's saying, I know it seems like we're doing bad things, but the other group is bad. Claudia belongs to the shadow, never trust her. And now we have a shot of middle-aged Claudia
With the book.
looking at the book, and he hands
Bartos.
the
Time
journal.
is an infinite field.
Noah says it's time.
It's time, double entendre.
Middle-aged Jonas in the vagina time cave
With the
goes
time
up to the
machine.
Tyket truck. He's in the middle of the tunnel. He opens old-timey time machine. He's got the iPhone.
Got Ulrich's iPhone.
He turns it
He's
on.
setting the dials.
Lots of things to turn on.
Cool. I so want one of those.
Me too. The iPhone's going.
I want a coffee machine.
Okay, now we're listening to a song. We're just on a shot of Jonas.
It's funny if you switched the dial and it changed the channel.
Okay, so we have a shot of Jonas and he's sitting in the cave, and then he turns and.
Is that Jonas?
No, that's Michael. Okay, the time machine's on. A black hole is
He's
being.
creating its spherical.
Oh, Inez is carrying Mikkel
Little
home.
Mikkel.
Regina and
husband.
Oh, the fucking black hole is in the sky. This black hole is in the
Jonas,
cave.
he's got his thing. It's halfway there.
Now we go straight up through the ground into the bunker where little Helga is. Jonas is in aggressive wallpaper room.
The black hole.
The black hole is opening in the fucking wall. The hole is also in his wall. The hole between the bunker that Helga is in and the aggressive wallpaper bunker that Jonas is in, so that Jonas and young Helga can see each other through time. They each walk towards the hole. They each reach out through the hole. And now they touch finger, like Michelangelo.
Yes.
They touch each other, and Helga, and he is in the aggressive wallpaper room. And Jonas is in a bunker, but he's in a bunker that's got pictures of and string fucking everywhere. He's in the bunker Claudia was in. It's the same shot that we saw in episode 1 when we were looking at that and making fun of the string.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the door.
Get out of here.
Gotta get out of here. And there's shit in the air. It looks like snow, but it's not. And he's looking at burned out trucks, Achtung. Looks like there's been a war.
What do we think his coat represents? That he's the child of nuclear?
Oh, maybe because the barrels are yellow.
Yeah, he's the child of man.
Nuclear
screwing
people.
with nuclearness.
Yeah, maybe. A truck is coming towards him with
And
people all over
are,
These are all like army-looking people.
These are full-on, but like ragtag.
Ragtag army in a ragtag army truck, and they're
like,
saying
these are fingerless gloves. People.
These are fingerless gloves, people, and they're saying hands up on the ground. He does that.
Oh, no problem there.
They're pointing guns at him. Who are you? A girl comes up to him. They all have face masks
Weirdly,
on.
they all have face masks
I know,
on. It's
ironic.
Kind of ironic.
She pulls down the face mask, and he says, "Where am I? What year is this?" The chick says, "Welcome to the future," and bonks him in the head with her rifle.
This is the end of season 1, the end of episode 10.
Yeah.
Jonas is in the future. We don't know. We can assume we know when it is because it's probably
33 years in the
30
future.
years past 2019. Everything is shit. They're all like bundled up and with patchy jackets.
And we saw Regina and Alexander outside, and there was a big black hole in the sky.
Yes, and the ne'er-do-well duo of Tranta and Peter were saying it's all going to be over soon.
Well, they hope everything's going to be great. But what it looks like is a nuclear apocalypse.
Yes. Stay tuned for a bonus season 1 retrospective.
Yes.
We're going to do that and ask us more questions. And we're going to talk about it. We're also going to talk about what we think about time travel. You're going to talk about that and what we think of this show as a TV show. Because one of the things we do know about is something about making television.
Yes,
Bye.
goodbye.